Well, good evening, everyone. I am excited for us to come together tonight. And, this is just our one time now each month that we have just our nation together on the call. So I'm going to give just a little warning that this call is probably going to go over 5 minutes, 8 minutes, inside of 10 minutes, but it is our one time in the month. And what Amber Fry and I have planned to share is a super important training. We wouldn't take up your time if we didn't feel that it had great value. And then you definitely want to stay on all the way to the end for the recognition and hearing from our two awesome new district managers, Sarab and Becky. So I'm going to jump right in, and knowing that if we've got an extra little 5-7 minute push, I'm going to be able to share everything on here that I want to share and not rush through it. So this topic, as I put in the post, is all about, asking others to take a look at this business, asking with confidence, and then where to go from that initial ask. Why is it that this comes so naturally to some, and for others, it fills them with fears about asking another person, even to simply consider taking a look at the opportunity? Well, there are two areas of belief that in my book make all the difference, because like all other parts of this business, it begins right here. It begins in the mind, because we act out of what we believe is true. So it's important to believe these two main things for starters. Number one is that we have a gift to offer. It's not that we are out to convince someone to join us, do anything for us. We're only asking another person if they would unwrap this gift with you, sit with you while you take off the top of the box and look inside, explore the contents together, and then decide if it's for them or if it's not. Our job is simply to inform and educate so they can really know what it is that they're saying either yes or no to. We're, again, not asking them to build our business. We're offering them a life-changing opportunity. The second thing, closely related, is that we need to believe that we do not need this other person that we're talking with to join our business in order to, whatever it is, promote to area, promote to region, earn a trip. We don't need this one person to do that. The truth is that that person needs this business far more than we need them. If they don't see that, no problem. They might see it down the road. They might never see it. I was taught from the start to think of everyone on my 100-person list, and I'm pretty sure all of you know what that is. It's a list that we just keep on going, from those that we remember from past, people right now and present in our lives, people that we run into, that we just keep putting down on that list. Doesn't mean we have to call them. It's just a running list that we keep of people that we know we might ask. So I was taught to think of everyone on my 100-person list as being in a maybe column. And that was my job to move them to the yes column or the no column. And here's the important part: with zero emotion attached to which column they go in. Yes, you want to start this business? Great. I'm going to help you get started. Great decision. No, this isn't for you. No problem. It's not for everyone. And if they remain, this always got to me, if they remain in our maybe column while we're coming up with excuses on why not to ask them, why they probably wouldn't do it, why now is not a good time, they will very likely end up in someone else's yes column. So offering this opportunity and then helping others to become leaders comes from a passionate belief in how this business could be a life changer for the other person. Many of you have heard me quote Linda Parker. It's one of my favorite quotes, guiding quotes for me. If we leave a conversation where someone has said no to this and we are frustrated, we're discouraged, we're feeling sorry for ourselves, it's a sign that we made that conversation about us. But if we leave a conversation where they said no, and we're feeling more sad for them, like, oh, they just didn't see it. They said they're looking for this in life. This could have changed everything for them, but they just don't see it. And we're feeling more sad for them. That's a sign we did go in there and make it about the other person. So if you find that you're not personally sharing this opportunity, eagerly with others, it is always because of a crack in belief in one of four areas. And I'm going to skim over this because some of you have heard this, but there's so many new ones on this call. Those four areas that you have to have belief in are our products. That is a pretty easy one. I doubt there's anyone on this call that is not in love with a few Arbonne products, or you wouldn't be right here. So we'll move on from products. Belief in our company. This one is rare too, to have a crack in. And especially if you've ever been to GTC, Sidebar, Empower Live now, coming up in July, come. You will see the heart and soul of Arbonne in a way you cannot experience watching virtually. Although if you cannot come, that's the second best thing. Third is the industry of network marketing. Often there's a crack there in real solid belief and understanding of the industry. And the last is yourself. And often that's where the crack is. So products, company, the business model of network marketing, and belief in yourself. Thanks, Con. As long as these cracks are not filled, sharing this opportunity will continue to be a struggle. It'll be something that causes worry, something that hangs over you, like your most unfavorite household chore. But once the cracks are filled, sharing our opportunity becomes a real joy and privilege. It feels like that gift that it is, that's meant to be shared. And your mind is constantly thinking, how dare I not share this, when there's someone that comes to mind or is standing right in front of you. So how to fill that crack of belief in network marketing? So many ways. One, we've had these Discover Arbonne Zoom calls that you can plug into every Thursday night. If you can't be on them live, you always see the recording, and there's many of those to go back to. But I will tell you, one of the most powerful things for me was reading The Business of the 21st Century. I know that in my first year in this business, I sort of shared it. I must have shared it. I had a few teammates, so obviously I shared that. But I was very hesitant about the part. We had this little flip chart that we went through when we were doing our one-on-one appointments, and the last few pages were about the business, and I would skim over those as fast as I could because I did not want the other person asking me, is this one of those pyramid things? Is this one of these multi-level marketing things? And I was just like, I know what they're going to think. I don't want to be in the, on the other end of those kinds of questions. And I will tell you that reading this book took me from that to one who would initiate that part of the conversation and say, have you ever looked into what network marketing is? Have you ever, or can you tell me what it is? Most people can't explain it. They only know what they said, who got it from somebody that they said. They don't really know. I don't know that I fully understood and could embrace the beauty, the brilliance of this plan, the most moral form of compensation there is, where everyone starts on equal ground, until I read this book. If I don't stop right now, I'll start summarizing chapters of the book, but I'm just going to highly recommend that one. It will make a difference. Another thing to grow the belief is just to continue to plug into our training calls, first and third Tuesdays of the month. And now, if you missed my post, there is a wealth of training in a private Facebook group that began in March with several of us doing this 30 Hard challenge. And I put a call 5 days a week in there to listen to. And at the request of several of you, I'm going to keep on putting one call a day in there for at least another 30 days. And so if whether you're challenging yourself to do this 30 hard or not, I just encourage you to go. Amber Fry changed the name of the group from 30 hard to one that will be really easy to remember: Hope Dealers Training Calls. And so if you go there, I just encourage you, start with call 1 and just keep working your way up. We're on about 28 right now. And that will help grow your belief, not only in the business model, but also how to fill that crack of belief in yourself, which is the last thing I wanted to talk about. So listen to these calls. Think about how others have worked through those stories that they had in their heads that weren't serving them, that weren't taking them closer to their goals, how people learn to stop listening to themselves and start talking to themselves and speaking truth into their lives over their business. And then think about this as I wrap up here. Try for a moment to get inside the head of the person who you might be talking with or wanting to talk with about the business. That person might be considering saying yes to this business, to their dreams, to the possibilities. Their sleeping giant might just be waking up and daring them to go for this and create the choices they've wanted to have in life. But they also know, and I relate to this because I was so back and forth for several weeks after I heard of this, so drawn to the possibilities, but also going, oh my goodness, what are my friends going to think? I'm going to have to tell this. I know what this one's going to say. I know what this one's going to say. And everybody, I won't say everyone, there's no such thing as everyone, but most people are going through that kind of back and forth on that. It is very unlikely that they will take that risk for someone who they don't perceive is all in. And so I encourage you to just ask yourself tonight, am I all in? And what does that mean? It does not mean you have to be all in to want to go to the top of the company. That's not what I'm talking about. It might be that you are all in to promoting at the next level so that you can create the choices that income, maybe it's the 1,000 to 3,000 income of an area manager, and what you could create for yourself, for your family at that level. All in does not mean you do Arbonne all the time. Nobody does that. That's not duplicatable. It's not something that would attract someone else. They need to see that it's woven into your life. But it does mean that it goes with you everywhere. Like Rita Davenport would always say, mouth open, office open, mouth closed, office closed. And Connolly, I'm looking at you, and that makes me think about sometime that Connolly, not too long ago, a year or two, it was on some camping trip in the wilderness, a place I'll never see because there was no indoor plumbing. And Connolly found someone to share the business with out there because her mouth was open, her office was open. She looked, expected opportunities everywhere, and she found one there. So as I close, you've heard many of us say, or even seen us sign cards. I know if you received a card from me, you've probably seen the initials NLY on it, if I think you already know what that means. And it means never leaving you. And every time I say that and write that, I'm promising again and again, I'm never leaving you. I'm never leaving you. And it's because that came from Cecilia Stoll, and it's because I've been following her advice. You need to commit until, from my first year in business. And so your present team and your future team need to know that about you, that you're all in, that you're committed until. And even if your whole team is all future team, none of them here yet, they still need to know that about you. And so now that's the mindset part of this. I'm going to turn this over to one of my all in and never leaving you teammates and dear friend. Amber's going to continue with the nuts and bolts of making that ask, and then what to do once you've made it and the person says yes. Sometimes people are more scared of that. Now, what do I do? Or what to do when they say no. So Amber, I am so honored to just partner with you, not only in this, but in life and the way we share life together. I cannot wait to hear your training as always. You're on.
Hi guys. Hello, Hope Dealers. Excited to be training on sharing the business with other people. This kind of came about when Dina and I were chatting the other day, and just really excited to be sharing. So I'm still working on, I don't know, perfecting my business asks and how I approach it. But I want to start with a story. If you guys don't know who I am, obviously I'm Amber Fry, but I kind of come from like a background. I'll be super vulnerable here. I was homeschooled. I never did any public speaking. I never had to stand up in front of class. I'm introverted. I have like an extroverted side to me, but it's mostly introverted. You guys probably have heard this story many times, but as I when I was in my 20s, I really just toured in bands with a whole bunch of dirty band dudes. You guys know this story. And so when I first started, I had no girlfriends, I had no community. And the guys that I was hanging out with, they just drank beer. So they weren't really interested in Arbonne nor being healthy. Like I started from a very, I would say like a very small place to share Arbonne with, but I didn't let that stop me. And honestly, I think I could have gotten out of, or I could have gotten into a bigger network at the beginning if I had really seen the value. Well, I did see the value of sharing the business. I think I just maybe I didn't believe that people would say yes to me, or I don't know, we can touch on that a little bit tonight. But I do remember, here's a good story to share with you. So after I just continued to like, do, I was definitely selling products and things like that. I was not growing a team at all. 6 months in, I believe, I finally asked this gal who I had told myself she would not be interested in Arbonne. I just remember being like, oh, well, fine. I'm just going to start asking people. 6 months later, after being a team of one, a district manager, a team of one, finally asked this gal, Allie, and I'm so thankful I did, because I remember asking her, I was like, would you be open just to taking a look? I have no idea if, this would be a good fit. Yes, I will. I'm like, okay. She got on a call with Dina and she said, I wish you had asked me 6 months earlier. Like, she was already loving the product. And so that was just kind of like okay, I need to stop making up other people's mind. I'm just going to share. So of course, you don't have to ask every single person to take a look at the business, especially if you're like, you don't want to do business with them. But I'm still working on this. I'm still working through how to make it really simple. I think something you could ask yourself, are you making it really easy for people to say yes? And that's something that I'm always trying to like perfect, because I know people are busy. So if you've gotten a lot of no's and you've gotten a lot of, people who have said like, I'm not interested, or I would never do something like that, I think a shift that you could have, and a game changer that you could have right now, just like even starting today, is that people do want to do this business. People do want to do it, and they do want to join your team. So even if you've gotten a lot of no's, I remember being at GTC my first year, and I was rooming with Fran and Anne. And I remember Anne, and maybe Fran, you told me this too, like for every, I don't know if this is still true, but for every 10 asks you make, one will say yes. And I had not asked 10 people. So if you're like right now, you're like, I want to have people on my team. I want to be like pouring into others. I want to be like growing together. It's so much fun, by the way, to be working with others in this business. Then have you asked 10? If you haven't, keep going. I mean, I know you could ask a whole lot of people and they still say no. But if you're wanting to move to DM or area manager or beyond, I think you really need to take advantage of your upline. So I'm going to talk a little bit about this tonight, and really getting your upline, your sponsor, in front of your people. I think that is the easiest thing that you could do right out of the gate. So say you're new, or maybe you're not even new, and you just want some energy from somebody else, like a third party. That is going to be really, really key, because you don't know everything at the beginning, and we don't expect you to. I'm really thankful that I could just like, I don't know, I've always kind of pictured me like pulling Dina out of my pocket and just like putting her in front of people. She could like talk to everybody, and then I could put her right back in my pocket. I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was saying, but I used Dina to share her wisdom, being in the business for a lot longer than me, having her perspective. It was really nice that she was also more successful than I was. And, it was really nice to have a second person to share. So third party, having somebody that can also get in front of your people is going to be really important. So something that I have been using, and I don't know if you guys have run into this. Dina, can you like give me like a timer or something? How long am I supposed to be going tonight? I'm sorry. You mentioned this.
You tell me.
I need to be quick.
No, you're
Yeah.
good. We were going to do recognition and Sarab and Becky, and I said we would go
Okay.
maybe 10 minutes over. So you're good.
I'll be okay. So we have a lot of tools. Dina already mentioned this, that we have like a Thursday night Discover Arbonne, right? You could absolutely just, connect with somebody and ask them if they would be open to learning more. You don't have to like water hose them with anything. Would they just be open? Like, and there's nothing, I mean, I feel like even when you flatter somebody and you say, you list their qualities or you tell them why you thought of them, if anybody says no, they're at least going to be flattered and they're going to say probably something along the lines, you are so sweet. Thank you for thinking of me. That is not going to kill you, right? That's amazing. And if you have heard stories already of ENVPs or NVPs or whatever, most of them have said no a lot of times before they decided to join the business. So just keep doing that, but ask somebody if they just be open. I mean, it may or may not be a fit for them. Ask them if they're open to learning more. So you have a lot of things you can plug them in. If you need to write these things down or just connect with your upline about them, just to kind of remind you and give you some options, you've got Thursday night Discover Arbonnes. You've got recordings of these Thursday night Discover Arbonnes. You have a s'more. It's like just a file that you can text them. So if you feel like, man, they're readers, they're not going to watch a video. They might read something while they're sitting at a ball game or something. They can be reading through that. Personally, right now, I'm finding, this is just personal to me, that every single person, and this is a reason to share Arbonne with them, is that they're the busiest person in the world, right? I feel like I'm talking to the people who are so spread thin, they're so overwhelmed, they're really not available to do anything. But I know that if they got some information in front of them, if they learned a little bit about Arbonne, they could absolutely say yes, because they don't want to be the busiest person in the world, so spread thin. They want some more time. This would be a reason to build this business. So I'm finding, and I'll post this actually in the comments for you guys once we post this video on Hope Dealers. I'll just put it in the comments there. I love this 5-minute Discover Arbonne I've been using. It's one of my favorites and that I found over the past 6 years. This is why. It's a no-brainer to say yes to the business. I feel like it just makes it really easy to say yes. And that's what I'm giving people. I don't want it to complicate the ask. I don't want to complicate the information. If you love the products sound amazing, it's kind of a no-brainer to do the business. Anybody can give you 5 minutes of their time. And if they can't, I don't know, maybe they shouldn't do the business. I don't know. And then, so I feel like that's a really great one. If you ask them, you have to follow up. I think this is the biggest thing. So you might be like, okay, now what? I've given them some information. Yes, they're open to watching this, whatever, or this 5-minute video. Ask them if they could just text you as soon as they watch it today. Make it, give them kind of a deadline to watch it. And then you have some questions to follow up with them. Say, I have some questions for you, or I have a question for you after you watch it. Great. So then they text you, I watched it. Great. Awesome. So where are you on a scale of 1 to 10 being interested in the business? 1, not really interested, or 10. If there are 7 or higher, this is when you need to bring in that third-party tool. Get your sponsor on a call with them. They can do like a 10-minute call or something. You could have them. You could do a Zoom call if you wanted to, but personally, I like to sometimes say, would you like to get on a Zoom call, or would you rather just get on like a 10-minute phone call? Most of the time, they're just going to pick whatever is easiest for them. Give them some options. And I really love that. I feel like that's just really, really simple, and I can work that around my schedule and my busy day with my kids and stuff like that. So let's see, I made some notes here. Okay. And then, so if they say no, I need to talk about that. Because if they're like, no, I'm not interested in learning, that's okay. Like, no, I know you've got a lot going on, or I feel yeah, felt, found. I feel you. You're super, super busy. You can absolutely ask them again, and timing may be different. I mean, it might be different later when you ask them, but move them to that next step. I feel like I really missed out on this at the beginning, is moving people to the next step. I kind of asked, if they said no, I kind of hid, it's like, well, that's okay. Would you be open if I just created an event and I popped you in, you added some of your friends, and I went live for 15 minutes, and you would get amazing host rewards. I would love to be able to obviously give you great discounts, but I'd love to get in front of your friends. I have never met anybody who does not like health, who doesn't want to feel healthier. Like, I've never met anybody that actually wants worse skin and wants to feel terrible. So people love Arbonne, so like this would be really, really fun. And so a lot of times people are actually booking off of my business asks. And then if they're like, no, I really, this is like a really crazy week, and they'll tell you something that's probably true, or they're just overwhelmed. That's okay. Would you be open to trying a sample? So I'm just like moving down the ladder. Do you guys kind of see how I'm doing this? If it's somebody that's on my high list, like I have some gals who are just like I am dying to do this business with them. I know that they'd be so amazing. I know that they would be so incredibly happy doing this business. I am not just going to start with, can I share a fizz stick sample in the mail? I am probably going to ask them to take a look at the business, because it is kind of awkward if you flip that on its head. You're like, hey, would you be open to trying a sample? No. Well, then would you be open to hosting so you can get some free products? No. Well, would you be interested in do the business? Do you see how that kind of feels awkward? Like they're like, no, already with samples. They're not really probably going to want to do anything else. So I really kind of think about that as you're talking with people. And so my rule, and I know this is Dina's rule, just ask for what you want. If you want them to do business with you, awesome. If you want them to host, great. So I think that's all I was going to share tonight. I know we have a lot of other things that a lot of amazing people going to be sharing tonight with who just promoted.
Amber, thank you so much in there that you shared that is valuable. And I just want to underscore one overriding theme that Amber shared, and that is really use the third-party tool. And that was a hard one for me, because I wanted to talk and just tell everything that I knew and understood about Arbonne. And what happens when you do that is most of us talk too much. And I was so guilty of that in the beginning. I would start a sentence and end it 30 minutes later and have more details about Arbonne than anybody's head could ever absorb. I was excited about it, but that was not the way to share. And if you share a 5-minute video, there's an end to the thing. If I had sent you a 5-minute video, would you watch it? Or if you send that s'more that Amber's talking about, and with the survey, it's just a thing, and you're not worried about the quality of how you're going to put it together, because you're sharing what someone else has already put together. So really, I hope that takes a lot of the fear out of it. But Amber, thank you so very much. And next, we're going to move into recognition. I'm going to share my screen, and another dear, never leaving you all in friend is going, Connolly Stewart is going to read a recognition for us tonight. And hopefully you can see that, Con. There we go. Who's in qualification? Go, Con.
Got it. Okay, thanks. So in qualification for district managers, Susan Catucci, Barrett Maddox, Diana Ofawia, and Chelsea Montgomery. Congrats.
Yay. Whoa, come back.
Yay. Okay, so no longer in qual, but our new district managers. Woohoo! Becky Somay, promoted by Amber Fry, and Sarab Al-Shiyab, promoted by me. Yay. We're so proud of you both, and we can't wait to hear from you.
Uh-oh, it's not moving to the next screen. There we go. Well, we'll do that.
Okay. Oh, there we go. Achievement Award earners. So these are basically your additional cash bonuses from Arbonne, you guys. So the Consultant Achiever Award, our two new DMs, Sarab and Becky. Our district manager earners are Amber, Connolly, Dina, and Fran. And our area manager achievement award earners, Amber, Fry as well. So good job, everybody. All right, let's see. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go first to the changed one life or more. So this is who was sponsored last month at least one new preferred client or consultant with a 150 order. Diana Ophalia, Ashley Marand, me, Jesse Collier, Ginger Rucker, Dina Kretzer, Beth Hooper, Ashley Powell, Chelsea Montgomery, Ashley Powell, Crystal Simmons, CJ Johnson, Kristen Tagalakis, Jessica Flynn, and Adriana Vidal. Awesome, guys. And then changed five lives or more. And then we start at the top and go down. So the top one is our beautiful Sarab. So proud of you. And she earned her Fizz 10. You look at you. You did not see. I told you you were doing awesome things. I see you, girl. And then Amber, Becky, Fran. Oh, Amber also earned the Fizzy 10. Very cool, which means she sponsored 10 or more. Becky, Fran, and Callie. Way to go, girls. Awesome. Good job. Really great stuff. Okay, so the top and changing lives. So these are the consultants who had the top district, which was Amber Fry, Connolly Stewart, Dina Kretzer, and top area is in changing lives, Amber, myself, and Fran. Way to go. This is top in sales and perfect brick. Okay, so let's do top personal sales first. We have Amber Fry, Fran Babashak, and myself. And then perfect brick. This is when you sponsor at least 5 new preferred clients or consultants with $150 orders. And then you have 2,500 also in sales volume. Okay, so we've got Amber, Becky, Fran, Callie, Sarab. Wow, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my goodness. Punta Cana, Arbonne incentive trip points. I love this background. This just really made me smile. So 200 or more points, you're on your way. Sarab Al-Shiab, Janet Benson, Rachel Canfield, Allison Kahelski, Ann Maloney, Rihanna Peasy, and Beth Hooper. Awesome. 400 or more points, Becky Somay. 600 or more points, Fran Babashak, Dina Kretzer. 800 or more, myself and Amber Fry.
Ooh.
Let's do it. Let's hit the beach. And hey, if you're seeing this and you just got started, don't think I can't earn points. I can't still earn this trip. Like, this is the point of that, is to inspire you guys, okay? And inspire your future teammates too.
Absolutely. Connolly, thank you so much for reading that, and congrats to all of you who were just recognized. Great, great job. And now we told you the grand finale was going to be that you get to hear from Sarab and Becky. I have no planned order here. I just asked them to each take about 2 to 3 minutes and share a little bit about themselves and their why. Sarab, why don't we just start with you, and Becky wrap up after.
Okay.
Sarab. Okay.
Well, hello, everyone. Hi. Okay, so I received this message from Dina out of nowhere. It's like, you have to speak. I'm not good with speaking to a lot of people. I'll try my best. I was not ready and not prepared, but it's okay. I want to do it. I feel like I'm in my second family here, with my second family. So my name is Sarab Al-Shiab. I'm a math teacher, actually math instructor. I teach at Virginia State University for 12 years. I love my job. Don't get me wrong. First time, I have 4 kids, 17, 16, 14, and 13. The first time I heard about Arbonne was through Conley at the gym. The first time I heard about it, I kind of was hesitant. She just introduced me to the product. I thought the products were a little bit pricey. Then after a while, she contacted me again, and she was, I don't know what she saw in me, but she just immediately talked about the business. And then I liked the idea, and I start to think about it. And this is my first time sharing this. I shared it last time with one of my events I hosted at my house. And I felt very good opening up and talk about it. So I'm just gonna be very vulnerable and share this with you. So on March 12, 2021, I lost my beloved dad due to COVID. And I shared with my friends, he is not the most important man in my life, but he is very important man in my life. He makes me, he is what created Sarab. He always pushes me to do more. He always encouraged me and my brothers and my siblings, he and my mom, but I'm talking about him because he's gone now, to always challenge ourselves and do more. So in March 12th, 2021, he passed away. And in March 1st, 2022, I joined Arbonne. Maybe the time that you picked Condi was the right time. I don't know. It's just on that month, instead of me remembering him and crying and feeling sad, I was launching my Arbonne party. I was very happy. I was very excited. And I know that he was very happy and he was very proud of me. And he would be more than happy seeing me getting out of my comfort zone, doing something different, doing something challenging me. So why I'm doing this? I'm doing this to honor my dad, to honor my family, for my kids, and most importantly for myself. And guys, I love the community. I really mean it. I love the positivity. Whenever I'm around you guys, it just gives me like a big positive feelings. I feel like I can do a lot. And as I shared with Dina before, I'm looking to get somewhere very high here in this business. I really look forward to learn from each and everyone from you guys. I learn a lot from Connolly. I hope that I can learn more from everyone, Dina, Fran, Amber, everybody. This is my story. This is me. I just joined. So when she told me, tell your story, I said, I don't have a big story to tell. I just joined. So this is me, and I'm looking forward to grow more and to learn from everybody, guys. That's it.
My goodness, Sarab, we just love you already. Those of us who have gotten to know you in person, and now you're getting to have a whole lot of the rest of the family getting to know you right here tonight. And you are an amazing speaker. You just speak from your heart. That's why I didn't give you more time, because I wanted you to just speak from your heart, and you did.
Thank you
so
thank you.
Thank you. That was beautiful. All right, Becky, you're another one who I've been getting to know long distance through our Facebook messages, and I am so looking forward to hearing your voice tonight. So you're on, girl.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Becky Some, and yes, my last name is really weird. I started Arbonne mid-January. So I'm pretty fresh, but I'm a homeschooling mom of 3. I have a 2-year-old, I have an 8-year-old competitive gymnast, and I have a almost 13-year-old elite soccer player. So I'm also an Army wife. And if that's not enough, I'm also an independent consultant with Arbonne, just like all of you. And I just wanted to share a little bit. My story is definitely not typical, as everybody says, but I just wanted to share with you guys how I joined Arbonne, because it is a little different than probably a lot of people. I know a lot of people's stories involve saying no lots of times and things like that. But I actually learned about Arbonne probably 6 or 7 years ago from a friend who came to a small group at my house, church small group, and introduced me to the 30 Days to Healthy Living while she was doing it, and shared her protein shake with me. And I was like, that's pretty good. Tell me more. And I had ordered a couple times just through her. And then I did a Facebook party that Amber did, or was part of a Facebook party that Amber did. And I just started ordering through Amber, and instead of just getting my friend to order for me. When it came time in January, we all had COVID. We were really sick. My son had no appetite, could not eat at all. The only thing he wanted was Arbonne protein shakes. Actually, the only, absolutely the only thing he could handle eating or drinking, I guess. And I texted Amber and I was like, hey, do you think that that's a good idea? If he's just that's what he wants. And she was like, absolutely. I'm like, okay, cool. Then I need to order more, because we are almost out. And then I realized that I needed to renew. It was time to renew. And I was like, I could either pay $29, right, and renew my preferred client, or I could pay an extra $20 and start a business. And I was like, why not give it a try? And so I like messaged her. I'd done some other direct sales things before that hadn't really like panned out, but I understood the process, how it kind of works, how the business works. And I believed that direct sales is a great like business model. So that wasn't like something I was concerned about at all. And I just texted Amber and was like, hey, if I did this business with you, like, just be really like honest, no sugarcoating, like, what's this gonna look like? And she was like, I thought we were talking about protein shakes kind of thing. Like, I didn't expect you to ask me that. And she just really like explained everything really well. And I was like, give me like 2 days or something, talk to my husband. And then I came back and was like, all right, let's do it. How do I do it? What do I do? And so then the end of March, I promoted to district manager. And my plan is to promote to area manager the end of July. And I'm going to Punta Cana. So that's kind of my story, my plans, and that's all.
Thank you so much, Becky, for sharing as well. It's great to finally, again, see you face to face, and we've had, again, just a great time getting to know each other. And I appreciate all of you being on tonight and cheering on these two new district managers. That was so special to hear from both of you. And since we've gone over, I knew not to even prepare any closing message. You two sharing were our closing message tonight. It just makes me think of what we hear all the time. The number one reason that people do this business is that someone asked them. And the reason that people don't is because no one asked them. I was a hard no, and a brand new consultant called me back probably 5 times. She had to know I was trying to get her to go away. What if she had not just gone through it? She read the presentation word for word, as you've heard me say. So if she could do that, and look what that started, what would happen if we all shared that and just asked if they'd be open to getting some more information. So thank you all. I love each one of you. Have a great week. I'm going to end, where does it stop? All right. Good night, everyone.